I know this isn't usually my content here, but I really wanted to talk about this because it is messed up. Like, the things that I am going through and all men are going through right now in the dating market is wild to me, because it is so freaking difficult to meet these standards. And the way that this always shakes down is one of three ways. Now, most people meet on dating apps, which is worse than meeting somebody at the bar. And I'll get to that in a second. A lot of people say you can't meet somebody at a bar. You know, you're not meeting the right people if you're going to a bar. Fair enough. But dating apps are the only way people are meeting people now. It's like 80% of the time, right? So 80% of all matches are on dating apps. That's how people are meeting now. Now, let me tell you why that's way worse. Because here's the cycle. Okay, I wrote this down so I could memorize, because this is what happens every single time. Okay, so woman matches with about 50 men. Okay, because there's way more men than women on those apps. Women, they don't really typically need them. So right off from the jump, the type of women that are on there are not quality. They're either usually crazy or, you know, just not desirable. And you know what I'm talking about. Like, I lost 100 pounds recently, like over the course of a year. If you go back to my shoe on head video or reply, you'll see that I was much bigger. But I worked on myself, and I think everybody should work on themselves. Like, you stop lying to yourself. Anyway, continue. So, women matches with 50 men. Women chooses about 5 of them, okay, to start talking to. This is overwhelming for them, okay? Now, woman starts dating all of them at once. Like, that means seeing them, not like being in a relationship with them or necessarily having sex with them. Sometimes they do, but whatever. But basically, you know, that's fair. That's just how the world works. That's how it's always worked. You know, you got to be the best of the best to be the one that gets with her. Like, the women have always controlled who to mate with. That's like natural selection. That's how that works, okay? Now, a lot of times if the women are on there, they have kids, and it's much harder for them to find somebody, because not a lot of men want to take on somebody else's kids, especially if they're younger in their life. Now, if a man, so after she, you know, chooses 5 of them, she starts seeing them, you know, and she chooses one of the best out of the 5, okay? But the man that she's usually going to go with is the one that is the most oversupplied male, right? So we're going with some guy who has basically a harem. Like, you're going, all of it funnels to the top 10% of men, 1% of men, because of dating apps, it's basically like Build-A-Bear, or build a partner, right? Any little thing, they're going to go and try to, you know, nope, that's not for me. Any little thing, right? Because now we're swipe left, swipe right. So we're in this mindset of like not looking past faults, just picking like the perfect. So if you're going to the top tier, you're going to pick 6 foot, whatever. You're going to treat it like a grocery list or something, right? You're going to go 6 foot. 80% of men are under only 15% of men are 6 feet or taller, FYI. And now what percent of those men have their life together? And what percent of those men are good people? And what percent of those men make money, right? So already, like, you're going for the top 1% of men, right? So obviously that means he's going to be oversupplied. Now, what is he going to do? Well, he's going to string her along, and she's going to be okay with this at first. A lot of women, they'll be like, oh, he's keeping me a secret, it's annoying. No, you're not being kept a secret. You're a option. You are a side. Call it what it is. You are not stupid. You are accepting it because you're hoping that he'll choose you. You're being a pick-me, right? You're hoping out of all the women he has, you're going to choose. So you're putting yourself in this position on purpose, right? Whatever. That's just how it works, okay? Now, she's going to play the field a little bit too on the side if he's keeping her on the side, and she's going to keep talking to these other guys. But just know that every now and then, that guy is going to play games with her and go, oh, you know, no, I like you, you know, you're my favorite, blah, 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 you know, and then she's going to get hot and cold with you. You're going to notice it. You're going to be like, something's up, what the fuck, and you're going to call her out on it. Once you call her out on this nonsense, this is what's going to happen. She is going to gaslight you. That's how that works. She's going to gaslight you, and she's going to be like, you're psycho, why are you texting me, why are you blowing me up, yada, yada, yada. These are all real-world examples of, like, what I've been dealing with. Like, I get a decent amount of matches, and this is like, I'm 5'8", so I'm not 6 feet, but like, I've been meeting up with these girls. They're, you know, very good looking women, but this is what happens every single time, right? I'm talking to one, all of a sudden, she stops texting me. I look at her Facebook. Oh, look at that. she's in a relationship with somebody else now. She was talking to multiple men. That's just how it works. Now, eventually, this woman is going to come to her senses and stop putting up with this, right? She's going to get tired of treating this way. She's going to try to move back to those men. But those men have already moved on because they got tired of it as well. So all of these problems are being created by that 1% guy in the shadows that is stringing all of these women along, because he's stringing her along, which causes you to be strung along by her. That's just how it works, okay? Now, these men are going to get tired, and they're going to be removing themselves from the dating market or removing themselves from the planet. Okay? That's what's happening right now. It's an epidemic with men. Okay? So, what do? Well, we go to the gym. We start ignoring them. And all of a sudden, what you'll notice is this is what happens to me every time. I'll be on a health journey. I'll be like, making some serious gains at the gym, moving up, making good money. And all of a sudden, now they want to text me back. Like, they don't want to text me back when I'm texting them. They want to, they want to play this game. Because if I'm too interested in them, right? If I'm too interested in them, and I'm showing that I care about them, they will back off. But they want men that don't show interest in them. And then when they get in a relationship with them, chances are the guy settled for them. He didn't like her that much. Right? Because if he did, he would have been texting her from the beginning, trying to meet up with her, trying to hang out with her, right? Prioritizing her. But no, it's in her nature to, oh, that's weird. Maybe he doesn't have anything going on. That means he's not desirable. There's something wrong with him. That's what they do. And then they get into these relationships with men who don't really care. Oh, he responds too quickly. That's weird. Okay? And then you go for the man that doesn't respond too quickly because he's texting, he's having conversations with like 5 other women, and then you don't know that. So you assume, oh, well, then it must mean that he's desirable. You know that, and you like that he has options and he's choosing you. That's what you get off on, right? But at the end of the day, a lot of this is male's fault. It's men's fault because they are paying money. They're putting up with this stuff. There was this girl that I matched with on Tinder the other day who wanted a man who had a farm, a house, and a truck, and all this stuff already so she could be a housewife. But then also, she wanted to keep her OnlyFans active, and she had 2 other kids. So you have kids, another man's kids. You want to come into a successful man's life after he already built that life. You don't want to build that life with him, and then still disrespect him enough to send nudes for $5 to the random men on the internet, or even, his friends are going to be able to see his woman naked. Like, what is that? Like, what are you insane? The reason why they're insane is because of us, because men have been these simps have been putting up with this. Like, they've been tolerating this. It's nonsense. Stop doing it. Stop giving them money for nonsense. If you want to go, go onto the hub, you know what I'm talking about, and do your business. Stop. Knock it off. You're creating this this is not okay. It hurts everybody involved. But I don't want to leave this off on a negative note. So I am going to give all the men some advice, because I have gone through this so many times now, and this is the right way to handle it. This is going to happen. This is a pattern. This is just how it is now. Instead of complaining about it, you got to have a strategy. So, what do you do? So, obviously, she's going to be oversupplied. That's just how it works. That's how women are. As a man, you are always an option. Whether you like it or not, you just accept that. That's just how it works now for men. She's going to have all of these options. You have to be better. Okay? You have to be better than those options. If you're not, you're not. Whatever, dude, go to the gym, figure it out, okay? Unfortunately, I hate to hit you with the cold water here, but that's how that works, okay? Now, what you do is, if she's texting you back here and there, you're good. Calm down. Don't let your anxiety get a hold of you. Don't let your emotions get a hold of you. Be stoic about it, okay? Be stoic and be a man about it. Now, sometimes what's going to happen is you can't text her back often right away, okay? So what's going to happen sometimes is it fades out, and then you already know what happened. She found somebody else. That's the end of it, okay? That's going to happen, okay? But I've screwed things up a lot of the times where I let my emotions get involved. I was like, man, I hate being treated like an option, blah, 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 blah. and I've like ended it early and stuff like that before. You have to be okay with her talking to other men while she's talking to you. You have to just accept that. If you can accept that and you can go about your day and eventually she will come to you, that's how you, if she doesn't, then she found somebody better than you, and that's just the way it is, bro. So, but you're going to screw things up if you text too much and too often. And stop spoiling these women. Stop doing that. If they don't give you a reason to spoil them, then don't do it. It's not gonna, all it's gonna do is make her less attracted to you, because she didn't do anything to earn that. Okay, it's kind of like when I call a woman beautiful. If she doesn't find me attractive, she's not gonna appreciate the compliment. Women don't like being hit on unless they find you attractive back. That's just how that works. It's not mixed signals. Women aren't complaining that men are checking them out at the gym. They're complaining that unattractive men are checking them out at the gym. They want the attractive men to do it. They want the attractive men to approach them. So, you got to get okay with approaching women. And if you don't, you don't. But, or you can just sit there and consume video games. Like, I play video games. I love video games. I'm going to actually start uploading more often. I'm going to upload content. So I'm going to, go to work. I got cut off there a second, but yeah, I'm just going to go to work, go to the gym and play video games and upload my streams, my content. I like story-driven games and retro games, so if you're interested in that type of content, I'm trying to do like this PewDiePie thing or this, that's just going to be the content I move to, because it's just all this technology stuff that I keep uploading, like hacking and stuff, like it just keeps getting, like on modern day YouTube, you guys won't even see that anyway, because YouTube is suppressing it. It's not showing up in your recommended. They don't want me showing you guys that stuff. But so I'm gonna have to change my content if I'm gonna keep doing this.